understood and appreciated the consequences of pleading guilty. There's State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to support. That's enough to support your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the state jail felony. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, a state jail felony, in paragraph 1 of this indictment. And the court, upon considering the gravity and circumstances of this felony committed.
For her effect. So
Yeah, these are all 3 prior
yes, sir.
convictions in sequence, which would have enhanced into a state jail felony punished as a second-degree felony. We're only doing state jail felony, though, paragraph 1.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
25 CR 1415, you are Kendall Mayfield.
Yes, sir.
Present with Ms. Manaldi and your attorney and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment and arraignment in paragraph 1? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about July 13th, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the state jail felony of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
If convicted, you face confinement in a state jail for any term not less than 180 days, nor more than 2 years. Additionally, you may be assessed a fine not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
An agreement has been reached in your case where you would be pleading guilty and sentenced to 1 year in the county jail, as the parties have agreed to proceed under section 12.44 of the Texas Penal Code, which states that you can be convicted of a state jail felony, but punished as though it were, a misdemeanor, punished as though it were a misdemeanor. Section 12.44 of the Texas Penal Code, a court may punish a defendant convicted of a state jail felony, which is what the plan is over here,
Yes,
right?
sir.
We're going to convict you of a state jail felony, right?
Yes, sir.
And then we are going to impose, though, confinement that is permissible as punishment for a Class A misdemeanor, which is up to 1 year in the county jail. And that's your plan, right? 1 year in the county jail.
Correct.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this? Guilty
Guilty.
or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading to this state jail felony voluntarily and because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that?
Yes, sir.
Voluntarily. Understand it? Discuss it with your attorney. Are the contents all true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence and without objection, it's admitted. Among other things, this states you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1, made a part of the record for all purposes. Pre-sentence report is waived.
Yes, Judge.
You were looking at second-degree felony punishment up to 20 years in prison in this. Did you know that? You know that.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to find as to paragraph 1 of this indictment, a state jail felony of unauthorized use of the vehicle. You pleaded guilty voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. You were mentally competent to do so. You understood and appreciated the consequences of pleading guilty. There's State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to support. That's enough to support your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the state jail felony. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, a state jail felony, in paragraph 1 of this indictment. And the court, upon considering the gravity and circumstances of this felony committed and the history, character, and rehabilitative needs of the defendant, which are required to be considered under this statute, section 12.44 of the Texas Penal Code. It's my understanding that all parties agree that punishment of Class A misdemeanor confinement, 1 year in the county jail would serve the ends of justice.
That's correct, Judge.
And you?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will follow that. I hereby find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this state jail felony, and you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the county jail for a term of 1 year. You will be given credit for all time you've served toward that.
Yes, sir.
Anything else to add?
No.
That is all. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.